Okay, let's do this. Berno would certainly not approve because my composition, my technique is pretty pants. But as long as you can hear me, then that's the most important thing. Okay, so why am I doing a video? I'm doing a video because I want to talk about faith, and before you turn the video off, which you might not have done, that's an assumption. I don't think we like talking about faith. It's like the elephant in the room, isn't it? It's like, for a long time I've not really talked about my faith. I've not exactly buried it, but I've not wanted to speak out, and it's like the most important thing in my life, so it seems pretty ridiculous that I can't talk about it. But I think a big thing that holds me back is that people see it as my opinion that they don't really want to necessarily hear, perhaps, or it's something that's not real, so it's not, to them it's not maybe important, but to me it's pretty major. So yeah, so I hope this probably won't even come out in a very concise way, so hopefully, sorry if it's a bit of a ramble, but I really want to say, I want to share, because I'm hoping that it might just help somebody. So what is faith to me? When I was growing up, when I was at school, people would say, "Oh, you're religious, aren't you?" And it would really grate me, but I could understand why they asked that question, because that's what it seems like. Like, okay, you go to church, so you're religious. Okay, I get that connection. But for me, it was more than that. I reached a point in my teens when, this is really annoying, isn't it? Sorry, awkward position. I reached a point in my teens when, because I grew up going to church, my parents went to church, and then for a number of reasons they just stopped going, and for me that was a pretty major point in my life when I really had so many questions, like, you know, is this real? Is God real? And there was decisions that I was making as well as a teenager that I kind of wanted to know, because I thought, if he's not real, I'd rather just crack on with my life the way it is and live the way I please. And if he's real, then I kind of want to know, because if he's real, then that changes everything. So I remember specifically saying and praying to God and just saying to him, look, like, if you're real, show me that you're real, because I need to know. I need to know if you're real or not. And he did, like, he did. And everyone says to me, well, what do you mean he did? Well, he did. He showed me. It wasn't straight away. I remember times when I was a kid when I would say, God, if you're real, like, do something, like, I don't know, make that something move, then I'll know you're real. And he wouldn't, and it wouldn't happen. And I'd be like, oh, he's not real then. But he did, like, over time he did. Like, I would pray about stuff and things would happen and I'd be like, hang on, that's weird. I prayed about that. Like, something's going on here. And then, so not long after I prayed that, my sister, who was she didn't have a faith at the time, she invited me to church, and I was like, okay, cool. So I went along with her, and wow, I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, because it was a bit freaky, to be honest. But there was something that was going on. Like, the people at the church, they genuinely seemed to believe that it was true, the Bible was true, and they were like actually excited about it. It's actually real to them, and that kind of was like, interesting, okay. Like, it didn't seem like religion to them, it seemed like it was true, and that made me want to go back and back and back. And looking back over my life, there's been some pretty clear times when God has showed me that he is real. So to give you a few examples, there was a time when I was on placement. So I did a degree at uni, and I did like a sandwich course. And in my placement year, I went to work for a hotel, and this hotel was not, it was very remote, let's say, and I didn't like working there. I didn't like being isolated, and there was times when I would just cry, or I was just hated, like hated is a strong word, but it was pretty, I felt pretty miserable and very lonely in that time, because yeah, I did. And there was one night I was in my room, and I don't know what it was, but I just felt so low and down, and I just remember saying to God, like, I'm a mess. I am a mess. And I cried, and I got a text message, and this was freaky. I had a text message from my old youth worker that same night saying, "Beloved, you are not a mess." And I was like, what? Whoa, that was freaky. It was freaky. And the text went on to say other things which were really encouraging, but because I'd literally said those words, "God, I am a mess," and I was alone, like nobody was there in the room with me. And then I got this text, "Beloved, you are not a mess." I was pretty mental. So that was one time. And there's been so many times during my life when I've been pretty desperate, and I've prayed about something, or I've really like said, "God, like, I need you to step in right now," and something has happened, not always in the way I've expected it, but something has happened. There was another time when Heidi was born, when I had the craziest experience, where I basically had like a vision, and God was there, and he told me, like, this is how real I am. And he kept saying it and saying it, because it was like it wasn't sinking in. And then I passed out and I thought I'd died. That's a pretty crazy story, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but I just want to share that it's real, and there are still times now when things don't work out the way I expect, or I get low, and like, he's the one that gives me hope and peace, and yeah, hope. He gives me hope. Whatever I'm going through, I know that I can talk to him, and I know he has a plan. And so I guess what I'm saying is, to me, it's not religion. It's not about religion. It's about me and him, and being able to talk to him. Like, he's my friend. He's real. He cares about me, and I can rely on him. And to me, that is what it's all about.